George?
So I guess I'm frozen.
Yeah, you were. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another great edition of the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. Chappie, any races on the dirt that's supposed to be on the turf today or vice versa?
I believe race 5, which might be in your program and your racing form at Santa Anita, was shown as on the dirt. It is 6 furlongs on the turf. So
the horses are going to stand behind the gate of the turf and the dirt, and at the last minute we're going to load them, and it's a big surprise to everybody. It's going to be exciting. That's excitement right there. Talk about excitement. We got 2 exciting guests right here. My guest is Matt Dinnerman, one of my favorite track announcers. Really gets the audience involved. Has so much information when he talks. I just love him, and I think that. You hear the fans across the country just really saying what a great job he's doing, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show with us, Mr. Dinnerman.
Thanks for having me, George. Yeah, for a great cause today as well. So looking forward to it. And, you know, I'm up against a pretty tough competitor here. So you put me up against if I was a batter in baseball, I'm going up against Randy Johnson, but I'm ready for it.
Well, hopefully Scotty's going to be throwing some heat then. Scotty, Equine Edge System, you know, we were just talking in the pre-show meeting, which we always have before each show, and you're doing something very unique that's really catching on that Matt brought up, but we all agree with it. It's not only kind of the wave of the future, but very important, and kind of explain what you're doing to everybody who's listening and watching.
So when you look at like some of the gamers on Twitch, it kind of started on Twitch where you've got these gamers and they're on there following their favorite gamers that are really good at certain games, right? And so the gamers are on and people are watching them play the game live, and they're interacting and chatting with them as well, and they're learning. And what happens, it's kind of like poker, right? When they started showing the hands, we would watch these poker players, and then we would see how they would play these hands, and we felt like we could do it as well. And then we also, you know, became fans of some of these poker players. Well, the gamers are doing that, and now what Equine Edge is trying to do right now through my shows on YouTube and as well as Twitch on Equine Edge Live is do the same thing. So I'm using Equine Edge, and we're partnering with, you know, Stronach Group, and we're right now we're doing the Golden Hour Pick 4, where we're just covering those 2 tracks, and we're playing the Golden Hour Daily Double, the Pick 4, and then people are watching, and they're watching me use Equine Edge Live, and they can see me on the lower third of the screen, and then they're chatting with me, so I'm chatting with them. I'm handicapping through our platform. And then they're watching the live races, watching Matt make his calls, Frank Miramani make his calls, and people are loving it right now, and they're learning a lot as well. And I do think I'm hearing a lot, guys, that we're attracting a lot of poker players, we're attracting a lot of sports bettors as well that are going, you know what, this platform of Equine Edge is kind of easy to use, and I like it. And then with the takeout of 15% on the Golden Hour, we're attracting a lot more people as well.
Yeah, and you guys can both expand on this as well, but I think you made a good point. It's kind of like the poker thing. You know, the poker craze really took off when they showed it live on ESPN, and you could see the whole card and people could follow along, you know, live and actually watch it. And now with the interaction, it's just, you're just taking a step further. And that's the type of thing we got to do to not only get young fans, but new fans as well. Right, guys?
Matt, go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And we were mentioning this before we went on air here. You get video game folks, they love watching those live streams where guys are playing experts. They're talking about how they try to improve their game. So not only are you feeling you're a part of it, you're also learning. And I'm sure, Scott, you get a lot of new people on there as well that you're teaching them about this is the process. And one of the things I think that our industry has a difficult time of figuring out, and it's not an easy thing to figure out, is what the learning curve is very steep. So how do we get people to make this an interactive experience and get them drawn in and learn at the same time? And I think, Scotty, the way you're doing it, that's how you're going to get people to learn, is by watching, and it's going to take time for them. But if they're willing to invest that time, it's a more fun experience than looking up some, video from YouTube 10 years ago that's bland and talks about 5 minutes how to look at numbers.
And and another to add on to that, Matt, the community, right? So people want to be part of a community, and that's what we're building as well. We call them the Edgers, and they're very proud of that as well. And they're chatting with each other, and they're helping each other, and they go on our VIP Facebook group, and they're all helping each other, and they're helping newbies as well. Like it's this community is incredible, and that's what needs to happen in horse racing as well. So I think from there's a lot of things that need to happen in horse racing, but from this perspective of trying to get younger people and also some people that are playing some of the other like sports and things like that and poker, we need to do things like this to attract them.
Yeah, I think when you talk about poker, I think having the hold cards and seeing and people looking along kind of demystified that whole like, oh, wow, poker, I don't know anything about it. People will see the whole cards and they go, oh, so ace king is a good hand, or whatever. And so I think with Equine Edge too, people, we need to demystify that, like, oh man, horse racing is hieroglyphics. I'll never learn it. And so when like you, Scotty, who show them, look, this is not that, it's not that hard. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to ingest, but okay, this is the lone speed, or this is this. See how you point this out, and this is how you make money, and this is how you learn. And people go, oh, wow. Oh, so that's how it's done. So you don't feel so intimidated.
I think what we tried to do, George, sorry, Chappie, I think what we've tried to do with Equine Edge, honestly, is there's a lot of statistics out there, but it's too much time, and you don't know how to process that or what to do with it. Okay, what does this stat, the trainers 2 for 30 with first-time starters, what do you really do with that? Like, because that past doesn't have anything to do with today, right? This horse could be different than those other horses. And so what we've tried to do is break everything down into metrics, but not any one metric will do it. A win percentage is one thing, but you need the GSR for genetic strength rating, for breeding, a horse going on turf for the first time. We had a horse yesterday that moved up in genetic strength rating by 24 points from its last race to this race, and the horse won for fun. So it's things like this, the strength of race, the SOR. I like to say, one of the reasons why I created the SOR is because when you look at a form, and this is nothing against the form, it's old school, and I'm old school, that those top 3 finishers, you don't know what to do with those. And so we created the SOR to show you how strong the field actually was, because every 32,000 maiden claimer is not the same.
Yeah. And, what I was going to say is you're just doing something new to get people involved that otherwise wouldn't, because let's face it, all of us learned as kids, right? So our parents, our grandparents, somebody taught us. And if you didn't, the people that try to learn as an adult, you look at a racing form, you don't have any idea what you're doing. You don't know what you're looking at. You come to the track one day, even as Santa Anita, and you come here and you say, wow, it's beautiful. The mountains are terrific. You bet on a couple horses because they have your grandmother's name in it. And then you go, well, we had a blast, and you leave and they never come back. And we don't capture anybody, and we don't teach them the way you're doing it. And I think it's a terrific way to do it.
Well, and I really appreciate that. And just to add on to that again, guys, I think it's really important. Like when you go to the track with somebody and they're just telling you what to play, it doesn't stick. There has to be a tool that people can empower themselves to play and use, not be told what to do, because they'll come back once every 2 years. They go, you know what, I actually can do this. I'll tell you a long story short. So Mike, who's a partner in Equine Edge, he knew nothing about horse racing, still knows nothing about horse racing. He only knows, he's younger, he only knows how to use Equine Edge. And we've qualified twice, 2 entries for the NHC. Mike went on to horse tourneys and actually qualified for us to get the 2nd entry in my name, of course, but he did it. Wow. Using Equine Edge, and I think that's exactly what we're looking for.
All right, we're gonna take a time out from this infomercial from Equine Edge to get to a show, but we'll get back to the Equine Edge infomercial in just a minute.
George, all I was going to say is, it's amazing. That's a testimony. That guy's first time out, he already qualified, and our producer Tyler's tried to qualify 637 times and hasn't yet. So.
Hey, real quick before we get into the show, if you guys are watching and you want to see the football game, a great place to see the football game is Sorona's right here at Santa Anita. So we invite you to come out. Chappie, we got a lot of great deals today.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of drink specials at Sorona's. You can watch the game. We do the Pick'em contest, which is absolutely free. Daily, it's usually $500 to the winner. Today, we doubled it for $1,000, and it integrates horse racing and NFL plays. And I tried to do it all. Well, I did it all for either NFL and just the Rams game only. So come out, drink cheap, watch the game, play some ponies, and have some fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So come out to Santa Anita today if you can.
And the bingo too,
free bingo, yeah. And come out next week if you can as well, especially Saturday. We've got the California Wine Festival here at Santa Anita. Also, you can watch and wager on the Pegasus World Cup to see if Knicks Go and Life is Good, if they're going to get into a speed duel. I don't know what's going to happen there. It's going to be pretty exciting to see that race, but it's a big day all around. So next weekend, we invite you out as well. And if you're in the Northern California area, certainly go to Golden Gate Fields. It's just a great facility, and they have a fantastic track announcer who's going to give us $100 win play on a horse right now that you can make money on today. Matt, who is your $100 win bet?
We're going to the final race of the day, so you got to wait until the sun is setting, and I am going towards the outside, Dancing Rinka from the Pete Urton barn. I love the second time routing angle. I think there are plenty of situations where horses route, and then second time they do it, they improve. They have that conditioning. They have that route race under their belt. I actually thought this horse ran a really good race last time out, running third to Handy Dandy, who is the morning line favorite to beat winners in race number 1. And he actually came back and ran a really respectable race in a stake last time out. And I think that this horse is going to get some pace. Dancing Rinka, last time out, he sat off the speed. He was a little bit keen early on in the race and coming out of sprints. You would imagine that sometimes that does happen, and it did with him. He's a first-time gelding in this race. So I think Dancing Rinka is going to run really well today. So number 8, Dancing Rinka at 4-1. I'm going to put $100 on him to win for our charity contest. We're going to go for it.
And Dancing Rinka, first-time gelding, first-time Lasix, a lot of first times. First time the Candyman, and hopefully we'll anchor the day with a win. Chappie?
And we all know that Handy Dandy was very well meant. That was Peter Miller's swan song, and he pulled the old switcheroo, put Kent DeSormo on at the last moment. Where's our $100 win bet and why there, Scotty?
All right, by the way, real quickly on Matt, I love your pick, by the way. The horse was warm last time out and from the rail, and prior the race before that had issues. Now they've gelded this horse. It makes a lot of sense. Look at that horse on the track, and if the 8 looks good on the track, watch out. I'm going to go with race number 7 here at Santa Anita. My best bet of the day is That's Amari. And for Phil Diamato, Umberto Rispoli is aboard. And this one's got a 32% on our win percentage, won by 2 lengths last time out against a bit easier, but I think can take the hike in class. The front runner in the race is going to be Honey Jar. I'm a little bit worried about the 3 horse, but I don't think this horse is that good. So I'm going to go with That's Amari to be sitting in the garden spot right off of the 3 horse, maybe a length or 2 off and finished and win the race.
All I can say is That's Amari. 5-1. I like it. And Phil D'Amato, red hot once again. 4-1. We'll take it all day long, George.
Pretty exciting race there as well. The 9th race, a pretty wide open race. So I mean, we have some good races today towards the end of the card. Towards the end of the card, very, very good. Matt Denman, you got an exact to work with. Where are you going and why?
So we're actually going back to race number 7, and I am not using Scott's horse in my exact. So, somebody's losing.
It's going to be a key race.
I like it.
Somebody is losing here. That is a guarantee. But looking at this exact, I do like Carpe Fortuna. I think she ran a really good race, number 9, 2 starts ago, in her only try down the hill, the Zero Tolerance, who obviously came back and won a stakes race against older runners. It was a very good effort. Interestingly enough, by the way, just a total side note, Zero Tolerance actually began her career working at Golden Gate Fields. And she was working so good that the trainer called the owner and goes, You might want to consider running this horse down south at some point because she's got a lot of ability, and here we are. She's a stakes winner. But anyway, Carpe Fortuna, I think she's going to get a really good trip under John Velasquez. I think she's going to get a perfect stalking trip. I love what I saw in that race down the hill from her, and it was her best race yet, and I think she really likes the hill. So I'm going to use her on top of my exacta. I'm going to use 2 runners underneath. One of them is Honey Jar, who I thought ran a pretty respectable race last time out. She's coming off a layoff. But trainer Michael McCarthy is very good off these layoffs, and you get Flavian Pratt, a filly that the only time she went 6.5, it was on the flat at Santa Anita, but she went to the lead, got pressure, and drew off. So I think she'll like the hill. I'm going to put a little bit of a price underneath as well. My second horse in the exacta will be Callan for the John Sadler barn. She was finishing like a train 2 starts ago, and I think she's really going to like the hill. She's got plenty of route pedigree, which is interesting because even though they haven't tried her routing, sometimes horses that A, like to route, or B, have route pedigree seem to really take to the hill nicely. And I think this is a perfect course for her to run on. I think she'll get a little pace to chase as well. So we're going to use, let's see here, number 9, Carpe Fortuna, over number 3, and number 6, Honey Jar and Callan in the exacta. $50 exacta with 1 over 2, making it $100.
All right. Looks like she's going with seize the luck. We're going to seize the luck. We're going to seize it and make our own luck, winning race number 7, which is going to be a key race. Exciting, Chappie.
Yeah, another good race, too, in the latter part of the sequence at Santa Anita. We've got some competitive races. All right, Scotty, exacta time. Where are you heading and why?
I'm going to go a bit chalky. I'm going to go to race number 1 here at Santa Anita Park. And Handy Dandy looks very tough, 57% to win. Flavian Pratt gets off of the 2-horse and the 6-horse in here to ride for Ruben Alvarado. He's been riding for Ruben. Ruben's been a little bit cold, having to settle for some minor placings, but I think this horse is just much the best. I think has controlling speed in here, has the class. I think that Handy Dandy is going to be tough. So I only see Barsabas, the 4-horse, getting up. Hopefully won't beat the 1. I don't think so. I think it's 1-4 cold. So I'm going to do $100 exacta, ice cold exacta, 1-4.
All right, so 1-4 exacta, and he's eating a little chalk here, George. But like we've seen before, nothing wrong with getting on the board and making somebody come and get you, and nothing wrong with the exacta combination of Flavian Pratt over Johnny V. Georgie?
Yeah, they only win like 97% of all the races or something like that. 102% of the races. It's just an incredible combination how they've taken over. Who's had a sneaky good meet because all the attention is going on Velasquez and Pratt is JJ Hernandez. He's having a solid meet when you consider all the attention that the other 2 are getting. He's winning and doing pretty good. Anyway, there was some news today, Chappie, that was a little bit surprising to me. I mean, it was, it's like I wish I could be a fly on the wall and find out why, but apparently Little Red Feather and Mark Glatt have split up. Did you hear about that?
That's news to me right now. I had no idea. Breaking news from Giorgio.
Breaking news. Mark, we haven't heard anything from Koch, but Mark Glatt said something about, something about the, some business off the track. I'm not sure, man. It's a story that's intriguing, and then we're going to have to try to find out more. But that was a winning team, and for them to split up, it's just,
Well, as we know in racing, there are many egos involved, and they seem to mend somewhere down the line. Obviously, Little Red Feather uses quite a few different trainers as it is, right. But wouldn't surprise me to see them back together in 6 months' time. But interesting. I did not know that. I don't know if you 2 had heard that.
I heard it. I feel like I'm on the TMZ show.
Right.
Yeah, we heard about that. That stuff happens from time to time. Yeah. But Chappie, you make a good point. It doesn't mean that they can't come back together at some point. And you want to talk about a good sort of, I know you don't really talk about it that much in handicapping, but like owner-trainer combination. Those guys had a lot of success. And Billy runs a good operation, and Mark Glatt, he's a fantastic trainer. I think I don't want to say underrated because I know a lot of people like him, but I think he's a very, very good trainer.
No question. Right. You're a very, very good handicapper. You got a daily double to work with. Where are you going with your daily double, Matt?
So we're doing the early daily double. So even though we wait for the last race for the win bet, I want to get right into it at the start of the card. The first race today, I agree with Scotty, and I think Handy Dandy's probably going to go off at a pretty low price here. It's just coming off a third place finish to a good horse, Cabo Spirit, in the Eddie Logan Stakes. And I love when trainers do this too, when a horse is eligible for sort of a starter allowance type of condition. He is, so he's in this spot because he ran for a $50,000 tag 3 starts ago. Taking advantage of that condition, get a win. It's not a suspicious drop. They're just trying to win. He can't be claimed. So I think Handy Dandy taking advantage of the condition of this optional claiming starter allowance condition, and he's going to win there. Race number 2, I'm going to try to beat Climb to Glory, and that's actually how you say his name. It's spelled Klimp to Glory like his sire Klimp, but he actually started his career at Golden Gate Fields, and the original owner said it's sort of a play on words, Klimp to Glory, Climb to Glory. So I'm going to try to beat Climb to Glory with a horse that just ran at Golden Gate. Why not? Sink, number 1. And Keith DeSormo trains this horse. He sent him up here for main 20, and this horse stopped the pace, made a little bit of a move at the quarter pole, and looked like he was closing in nicely, and then he just sort of flattened out a little bit and was second best. The winner that day, Royal and Rando, actually a pretty decent horse. He hit the board a couple times against Maiden Special Weight Company up here, dropping in for maiden 20. And maiden 20 here at Golden Gate is a higher-end maiden claiming condition. It's not like Santa Anita where you've got maiden 50, maiden 32. Once you go for Maiden Special Weight here, if you drop, you're usually in for maiden 20. That's sort of the highest tag. So I thought Sink put up a very respectable effort, given that Keith DeSormo is a trainer that's always had numbers that are better second time out and even third time out. And wheeling back quickly, I like that. And I like the fact that he puts him in for 50. He doesn't wait and send him back up here and put him in for 20 again. Maybe he thinks that this horse can improve off that race. So I'm going to take a shot with Sink and make a $100 double with number 1 Handy Dandy and number 1 Sink. Hopefully number 1s are number 1 in these 2 races.
Sounds good. Keith certainly surprised in the Lecomte Stakes at Fairgrounds yesterday, with a big long shot coming from off the pace to nail Joel Rosario at the wire. I think he was like 28-1. And he's always such a nice guy. Keith DeSormo is easy to root for. So hopefully he'll get Sink here. And both handicappers are in sync, Chappie, and rubbing it in with the Handy Dandy. That's the only one you missed in that pick 5 that day. They're like Handy Dandy, rubbing it.
Yeah. He pulled a sneaky one. Speaking of sneaky, this is back to the TMZ. You know, I talked to Scotty this morning, and he had claimed that he was up all night studying for this contest. Yet my sources have him coming out of a side door of a club at 3 a.m. in Miami. And we do have photos. It will be on the 5 p.m. TMZ edition. So
that's a pretty happening place down there. Let me tell you, it's only about 25 minutes from me, and Miami's ridiculous. You don't even show up at a club until midnight.
Yeah, I have paparazzi, Scotty. Just remember that. Okay. All right, what about your double and why?
Oh, by the way, real quickly, you know that 8-horse that Giorgio was just talking about on the show yesterday, a woman named Cindy, very good handicapper, singled that horse because it was Equinedge's top strength of racehorse, SOR horse.
Wow.
He singled that horse and hit the pick 5 for $29,000.
Wow.
Well done. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't have been any colder on the show, so it was the highlight of the show, but it was great. But okay, my daily double here, guys. I got to go with That's Amari. It is my best bet of the day, so I'm going to stay there. And then I do think in race number 8, the 2-horse Distracted Princess is going to be awfully tough to beat. 1-2 on the Equinedge morning line. So I'm going to do, starting in race number 7, a daily double, $100, 5 to race number 8, the 2-horse, 5-2.
All right, so 5-2 double. I like it. And Georgie, should we get to the Wheel of Doom for the tiebreaker? What do we know what race it will be? Do we know what race?
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with maybe race number.
Can we do the? Oh yeah.
Maybe race number 5. It's got a lot of horses down the hill.
Ooh. You guys good with that? The one that's now on the turf that we said.
It's on the turf.
That will be the tiebreaker race. Here's the Wheel of Doom. See who goes first. Perfect. Look at that smile. Scotty, you get your first choice. I know, but George, let's say this first. I don't think there's any way we're gonna need the tiebreaker.
There's no way.
Just in case. Yeah, just in case. Scotty, who's your play in race 5?
Well, I'm going to take I got to take Muay Thai, the Irish bred for John Sadler. Flavian Pratt gets off of the 8-horse, and I highly doubt that he was taken off by Mark Glatt. And I think that Muay Thai, the Irish bred, is going to run good here. Was 4% on our numbers last time to win. Ran a respectable 4th by a length and 3/4, and drops in class a little bit here. It's pretty similar level though, 32 to 25. Non-one is a 2L. And this horse broke from the rail last time out. Didn't have the best trip. And I also think the horse needed the race as well. Was off a couple of months. Has had a layoff a little bit as well. But Flavian decides to jump on. I think the 4-horse Muay Thai is the horse to beat. So I'll go there.
Maddie.
All right. Well, you've got the best horse in the race, I think, there, Scotty. I think he's the class, and I think there's going to be some pace from the chase. You know what? I'll go with the other Sadler then, Crossword. And this horse, the last time he ran at this level, 25 non-2 life, he ran a huge race. And I was actually on track at Santa Anita that day. He stalked the pace off the lead, lost by 3 parts of a length to Kana, who came right back to win in his next start against tougher company. It was an awesome race. The only thing I'm concerned about with this horse is that he's drawn inside of other speeds. So I don't know if this horse is going to get in a speed duel like he did last time out. He was in a little tough last time. They went too fast on the lead, and he faded over a good course. But if he had a better post position, I'd like it a little more. But I'm hoping they can ration his speed a little bit here, and maybe this horse can pop up with a good race. So Crossword, I'll make him the pick, number 5.
All right, there you have it. There's the picks from our wonderful handicappers. Phenomenal track announcer. Love listening to you. Great to have Scotty on with the Golden Hour series here at Santa Anita and Golden Gate. So we really, this is a good show where everybody's tied in together. This is 6 degrees of separation. We're all right there working together. Chappie?
Scotty, just really quick, how do they find to watch you live? Tell the people how to get there.
You can go to YouTube, and then you go to Equine Edge Live, and then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free to do that. And then if you click on the bell that they have there, you'll get all the notifications. Also on Equine Edge, we have a first week free. You can go to equineedge.com, and you'll see it there, and it's easy to subscribe. It's free to subscribe.
Great. Love it. All right, I guess is that it, Georgie?
That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Fans, come out and watch the game here. If you're up in Northern California, listen and watch the races at Golden Gate. Matt Dinnerman just always does a fine job. You guys have a great day, and good luck at the race.
You guys were great. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.